They pick up 2 roster spots by letting Musgrove, Felice, and Marengo and bringing back Cole. They pick up themselves 2 spots, so they'll be able to move some players through that pipeline that they got that, look, Tucker and Fisher are just blocking people, so they're going to move people through the system with those 2 extra roster spots. And like I said, I just think that rotation now gives Houston the advantage. Now, look, as I say this, it's the second week of January. Doesn't mean they're going to win the World Series, but I think as of the second week of January, I think the Astros hold the advantage in the American League. And I think they're in position to do a lot of damage in the AL West. And going forward, I think the Astros are going to be really exciting. Now, I know that Keuchel is a free agent at the end of next year, so that makes even more sense for them to go out and get Cole in this situation. Now, as far as the Pittsburgh Pirates are concerned, not that happy with the returns. I got to be honest. And I hear the argument of, well, we want to compete this year. And I'm like, are you insane? Are you smoking crack? I mean, you're not competing with the Cardinals. You're not competing with the Brewers. You're not competing with the Cubs. Look, I told you 2 weeks ago. There's 2 things you do with the baseball team. And it's very, very simple. You're either going all in to win the World Series, or you're rebuilding. And you can't half-ass it either way. You got to do it all the way. If you're in for the rebuild, you better rebuild. And if you're in for going for the World Series, you better go for the World Series while you got the chance. Now, I think the Pirates are trying to give the appearance of we're rebuilding, but we want to compete this year. That's not how you do it. The Orioles do that. They've made that mistake many, many times. I'm telling you, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. They should be making moves like the White Sox made last year, where you're stripping down this team like the Astros did to build their champion team, like the Cubs did. You got to strip your team down. You got to rebuild. And you certainly got to pull more than 2 relief pitchers, a shot in the dark down there in Double-A, Altoona, and Musgrove, who's a wild card, who's talented, who comes from good stuff. Championship basketball college. I mean, a lot of things going on for him. But to come away with, none of those were, I don't consider them prospects. And so I don't consider you getting any of the top 5 prospects. I mean, Bukowskis, Fisher, Whitley was off the books. You knew you weren't getting Whitley. But, you could have done a lot better than this. I think it's a case of quantity over quality. You know what it reminds me of is when you play fantasy football. And back in the day, you'd have a Peyton Manning. And you'd be like, look, man, I'll give you, look, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to give you Todd Heap, Deuce Staley, the Eagles defense, and, Kadri Ismail for Peyton Manning. And you're just trying to dazzle them with bodies. But meanwhile, they're giving up Peyton Manning. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Garrett Olson. Why do I keep calling him that? I like Garrett Cole, but he's not Peyton Manning. I'm not saying he's Peyton Manning by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that this trade is a trade of quantity, and not quality. And I'm not very happy with that return, especially when I added to the next bit of business that I'm going to talk about, and that's the Andrew McCutchen trade. And when you take all of these trade pieces that the Pittsburgh Pirates picked up between these 2 players right here, it's not good. It's not equitable. The math isn't right. They look like salary dumps. And I'm not going to get back on this collusion thing. And by the way, I want to thank everybody for their responses to the show the other day. I really appreciate it. But I just think you can do a lot better between trading these two guys who put you guys back on the map, took you to 3 straight playoff appearances. Now, you say whatever you want about Garrett Cole, but you know what? That guy performed when they were on top. And by now, everybody knows Andrew McCutchen was traded to the San Francisco Giants for minor league pitcher Kyle Crick and outfielder Brian Reynolds. You know, it's kind of sad, man. It really is. And I gotta tell you, look, it's just very sad. I'm a huge Andrew McCutchen fan. I would say, like, as far as a non-Oriole is concerned, Andrew McCutchen is probably my favorite baseball player in the game. And I know he's not what he used to be, but... And look, I lived in Altoona for, 2 years. It's how I met Mikey and TJ and those guys and Gorilla. And I went to my share of Pirates games, and I saw that dude up front at the height of his powers. And I saw what he meant to that city. You know, when I started going to Pirates games, they were coming out of that 20 consecutive losing seasons. And look, in a lot of ways, the Orioles, my Orioles, we mirrored them. We went through 14 straight years of ineptitude. And I can remember when we started getting better and seeing kids wear Oriole shirts again with the little Markakis shirts and the Brian Roberts shirts. And it felt good. It gave you civic pride. And when I moved to Pittsburgh, when I first moved there, no one would talk Pirates with me. I mean, maybe if I had big tits and a nice ass, they would have talked to me about the Pirates, but no one would talk Pirates with me. Then the Pirates started playing good. And the stadium started getting more crowded every night. And then I started seeing little kids walking around Pittsburgh wearing Andrew McCutchen jerseys. Now look, I'm going to tell you, that's one of the things that I really love about baseball, is when I see a little kid with their team's t-shirt. I know, right? It sounds like such a simple thing. But it's true. It's the little things, the simple things in life that make me happy. That makes me happy when I see a kid in the middle of Pittsburgh who has, grown up watching the, god-awful Jason Kendall teams and the Jack Wilsons and, Brian Giles and all these guys are, they're the better Pittsburgh Pirates players that played there during those seasons. They were just bad eras, awful eras. Kids weren't clamoring out to the Dick's Sporting Good in the middle of Pittsburgh to buy Jack Wilson jerseys. And it was good to see what a guy like Andrew McCutchen meant to that team. In a lot of ways, like I said, they mirror the Orioles. Adam Jones was the same exact way for the Orioles. The same exact way. The Orioles went through 14 consecutive losing seasons. We got Adam Jones and just a molestation of the Seattle Mariners in a trade. We traded Eric Bedard, and they gave us Chris Tillman and Adam Jones, those suckers. One of the greatest trades in Oriole history. But the reason why I bring it up is because Adam Jones and Andrew McCutchen, two amazing African-American athletes who play baseball, which is rare in baseball in the major league level. They totally transformed their loser, mediocre teams into competitors. The wait was over. So it's sad to see Andrew McCutchen go. And I wonder, will they retire 22? I'd just be hard. I know he was only there for 9 years. But you're really going to give the number 22 to somebody else? I don't know. I really don't know about that. This is what they will probably do. They probably won't let anyone wear 22 until he retires. They're not going to officially retire it. They're just not going to give it out to anybody. I just can't imagine they would give Andrew McCutchen's 22 out to somebody. Can you? All you Pirates fans out there, can you? Now look, I've been telling you the whole time, if the Pirates make a deal and move McCutchen to either the Mets or the Giants, it's a salary dump. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to go off like I did the other day. Because I'm still pissed off. I need to breathe. Husa. I need to find my center. Yeah, my zen. Anytime I start to get excited and want to yell at an owner about collusive behavior, I try to bring it down to the center. I'm sitting lotus right now, by the way. Let me just catch my breath. Okay. Now, I told you, if they make a deal with the Mets or the Giants, these are salary dump trades. Because the Giants and the Mets are pretty much ranked 29 and 30 when it comes to the farm. There's nothing there. And why you would want to deal with those two teams, of all the fucking teams in Major League Baseball, why you would want to deal with them, I have no idea. So the Pirates moved Andrew McCutchen to the San Francisco Giants. And I'm going to tell you, that hurts. It really does. That's a shame. I feel for you, Pittsburgh. Like I said, they traded him for pitcher Kyle Crick and outfielder Brian Reynolds. Crick made his Major League debut last year. He's out of Fort Worth, Texas. He bats left, throws right. The San Francisco Giants selected Crick in the first round of and he was the 49th overall pick in the 2011 draft. Prior to that 2013 season, Baseball America had ranked Crick as the number one player in the Giants organization and 89th in baseball. Now look, he's been in the minor league for 7 years.
Play that fucking track.
That's a long time to be in the minor leagues. He made his debut last year, but he's a 7-year minor league pitcher. And his record is 25 and 31 and 3.37 ERA in those 7 years. That can't be right, though, because it says he's a 24-year-old. So how was he pitching in the minor leagues when he was 17? 18. Okay, I got you. All right, well, he's still relatively young. He's only 24. Now, look, in his Major League debut last year, he had 24 appearances, had an ERA of 2.71 in those 24 appearances, went 1-2 on a terrible, god-awful San Francisco Giants team. Now, like I said, he got called up for that cup of coffee, 24 appearances and 29.1 innings pitched.